Alright, hello and welcome everyone to another exciting Left 4 Dead 2 Shoutcast. I am Prodigy Sim, and with me tonight I have Mason. How are you doing today, Mason?
I'm doing great, Prodigy. Thanks for asking.
And we're here under a new name, actually. We're now cooperating with L4D2TV.net to bring you these casts. So you guys can always find our new casts on L4D2TV.net and our old ones as well. And the match we're going to be showing you guys tonight is the Everything FPS final match. It's Sinister against Polarity, sort of a rematch here. And so this should be a really exciting match. I'm looking forward to it. How about you, Mason?
Yeah, it should be a good match. Thank God we're back on Dark Carnival. A bit more balanced of a map than we've been seeing, but both of these teams have definitely put in the time. They've got the talent, and at this point, I can honestly say I see it going either way.
That's certainly true. We saw this matchup in the last CEVO tournament. We saw Sinister against Polarity in the finals. And I believe Polarity took out that win last time. But, both of these teams have been practicing a lot. I think they've had some roster changes, too. So we'll have to see what happens during this match.
Definitely.
Yeah, it looks like we have, I believe this is all of Sinister in the server right now, using their Toy Story names. And we're going to be waiting on Polarity to join up in the server. But yeah, I'd love to do a roster rundown for Sinister here while we're at this. I may have a little trouble figuring out their names. Maybe you can help me with that, Mason and Jeff. I believe Rex is in fact Shade. Alright, so we've got that down. And I'm at a loss.
Yeah, I'm trying to look them up on Steam Community right now.
I'd imagine the one with 115 ping is going to be R2, unless it's somebody else. Little Green Man. We do have Dawkins joining the server, so I imagine, yep, it looks like the rest of Polarity is moving into this server now. We have Scar in, who I believe is Steven, and Asian is just now joining as well. And I imagine we'll be seeing Fever in here, so this looks like the standard Polarity power lineup. Any luck on figuring out some of these names?
I have confirmed that Buzz Lightyear is in fact Wook's brother, Pachinko.
Okay, Pachinko is Buzz Lightyear, Rex is Shade, and the other two are probably Briz and R2, right?
I believe Little Green Man was R2. I think I just confirmed that.
That seems right.
Little Green Man is R2, and Slinky is Briz.
Yep, Briz. So this is the lineup that we've been seeing Sinister play with a lot recently. All very good players. R224, of course, the South American player. But he has significantly higher ping than the rest of his team, but it doesn't seem to bother him much. He's been playing with this team forever. They seem to work really well together.
Yeah, definitely one of the most consistently scrimming teams in Left 4 Dead 2 at this moment. Pretty much see them getting 2 or 3 in a night, every night, which is definitely a big part of their success.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. This team is always down to scrim. It doesn't matter what level you are, they will... if you go randomly post for a scrim on the scrim network, they're going to be one of the first teams to respond most of the time, if they're not already in one. So yeah, really, really active players. Polarity, it looks like we're just waiting on Fever to get into this game. But then we should be going live pretty quick after that. It looks like things are going along smoothly. Oh, the server is on fresh. This is still the Everything FPS tournament, so we aren't seeing the version of spitters during tanks. Which, if finales are going to be played on this, which I believe they are, that would be really interesting for that finale tank spawn where we see a lot of teams sit in that side room. But, that's kind of getting ahead of ourselves here. That's many, many maps away. For now, it's just going to be the regular Dark Carnival experience. It looks like we need to get some spec slots opened up to get the last player in. And here comes Fever. So we should be seeing this match get underway very quickly.
Who is KZS?
It's a very good question.
I don't think KZS is supposed to be in here. I believe he was in.
Probably just an extra spec we picked up who's probably going to have to go unless it's some other tournament officiator that we don't know about. Oh, he's a friend of me. So apparently I'm bringing all my friends into this cast. No, but of course everybody can watch this on the streams, and if you have any friends who want to watch this game, definitely tell them to tune in as well. Looks like we have all the players in right now, so we're just going to be waiting on that ready up and probably getting rid of this extra spectator, who is gone now, I think. And so the first round will be live pretty quick. Sinister on Survivor first. We've got Nick, played by Briz. Rochelle, played by Shade, as Rex. R224 playing Coach. Ellis, played by Pachinko. And the Infected seem to have a 3-1 setup, I believe. We've got Charger, Smoker, Jockey, and a Boomer, I believe. Just a few more things that looks like getting cleared up between these teams before we go live. Oh, apparently we have a crash on Fever right here. Sorry, this game's taking a while to get started up. Looks like a few issues with the server and the players. Oh, it looks like we may be seeing a swap here. Apparently, away team gets to choose which side they play first, and so we're going to be seeing Polarity go up on Survivor first, Sinister switch over to Infected.
Can we stop shooting each other? Hey, those bullets hurt, you know.
And we should be seeing Fever rejoin here pretty quickly as well. Boy, you know what I just realized is I believe this match is actually going on at the same time as Community for Fame's running this week. So,
which means you need to stop playing Community for Fame and watch this. This is a big deal. Community for Fame isn't.
You'll learn much more by watching this one game than you'll learn from one night of C4F. Now, C4F is great, but yeah, there's plenty of things to learn from watching these games. I know a lot of players talk to me and say, oh, I love watching these, seeing some new strategies, seeing what teams like to do. It's really helpful. But yeah, if you don't know what C4F is, you should definitely check that out. Hopefully it won't be in conflict with CAS in the future. But it's a community for helping players get used to competitive Left 4 Dead. It's mostly for the North American scene, but it's a weekly event, and if you have some time, go to l4dnation.com and check that out. Oh, apparently C4F is not happening right now, so it looks like we'll be okay. Everybody from that, thanks for tuning in then. Alright, we've just gotten Fever back into the server, and it looks like teams are maybe going to... it looks like the team swap is not going to happen. Not sure what's going on. A little bit of clarification on the rules going on, I think, right here. But it looks like Sinister wants to stay on Survivor side, which I think is usually a pretty good thing to do on this first map. None of the tank spawns are too dangerous, so if anything, you might get a little bit of an advantage playing Survivor first here. But I think it's pretty negligible on this map either way, though.
Yeah, I feel like the only really dangerous tank spawn is right at the bottom of the hill, or a very, very late one when you're already pretty chipped from attacks.
Yeah, that's certainly true. I mean, there's not exactly a terrible choke point like we see on the second map of this campaign, where you want to have those SI up when the tank is up, or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, pretty balanced first map for this game. Still having some issues picking sides in this finals match. Kind of would have been nice if we had this cleared up before, so sorry about the wait for you guys. You know, maybe we could read some shoutouts or something to pass the time right here. Or if you're, you know, I don't know how long this is going to take, so I don't know, maybe now's a good time to look for some cool Left 4 Dead 2 frag videos or something. I do believe we have war rooms for both teams tonight, which will be very nice, you know, after not having war rooms for that castle last night at all. I know a lot of people like hearing both Sinister and Polarity's war rooms in this game, so that'll be good. Alright, looks like the swap is taking place, with Fever being a little indecisive about which team he's going to be on. It looks like we're waiting for Briz to get back into this game, as well as Asian. Oh, Asian is actually in Spectate right now. Alright, so it looks like the teams are actually readying up and this match is going to go live as soon as the teams start recording their demos. You know, I think I'm actually going to record a demo as well, just in case one of these teams wants to have a spectating perspective so they can do some nice demo smoothing of their game. But, I don't know, I haven't seen a lot of people take advantage of that, but I think that might be... I've heard of some people wanting to do that in the past. And the match is going live. Sinister starting out on Infected, Polarity on Survivor. We have that 3-1 setup right here. Jockey, Charger, Smoker, Boomer. A pretty good setup for this first hit, don't you think, Mason?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Smoker pull through the bush, as it's still pretty difficult to clear. Boomer's trying to set up behind a taxi at this moment, and Jockey's going to come from behind.
And it looks like we're having a little bit of a brief intermission. I apologize. The hit is coming in. Charge going in, missing. Pull going in, missing. Or pull actually landing, getting a little bit of chip here along with that boom. And I believe we have just gotten Highway Zone rolled in this cast. Hopefully that won't be happening again. Oh no, I believe I just got... That was whispered to me or something. I may just be talking about something you guys have no clue about.
No, I heard it too. I'm not sure what that was. I'm sorry if you guys heard it in the cast. And with the survivors powering through all the common after the boom, we have an attack that most likely is going to come in under the overpasses. Pretty stock attack.
3-1 setup. No spitter here. You know, I feel like the spitter hits are usually more consistently damaging for this, but if they do this right, you know, they can get a really good tri-cap here. Get some separation off of that.
I'm guessing that's whispering oaks.
Survivors just moving up, clearing out some commons. And it looks like they are committing with all 4 survivors here pretty quickly. Hunter pre-spawned in front. The hit should be coming in pretty soon here. Charger spawning up. They are in right now. Charger missing. Jockey does land. Pounce flying around. Oh, a little late. Not really getting much damage. I feel like that hit was not quite as effective. We're only seeing about 10 or 15 more damage going off of that. Mostly from the jockey. And the survivors are going to move up towards the next choke point.
I believe we have a natty and they are burning it to get rid of most of that comment.
It looks like a lot of them are choosing to spawn in the side rooms. We do have a boom in on Coach and a pull down going in right there. Other SI spawning pretty far away. This Charger, I don't think he's going to make it in. But he is moving up. Oh, and we do see Dawkins take out that Charger. Kind of an interesting spawn right there, but it looks like they got some good damage onto Coach during that hit because of the boom and pull. So survivors moving through to the next area. We do have spawns coming up for Sinister. It looks like it's a 3-1 setup again. They're choosing to commit it here while there's still some horde coming in. Getting a nice pull and a pounce. Spit, I'm not sure if that's hitting. That is landing onto Nick. Actually getting some very nice damage for what would normally be considered a really tough attack to get damage on, I think.
Yeah,
So,
that's a lot of unnecessary damage. I'm not sure why they didn't just keep backing up. I mean, yeah,
So-
that's a lot of
we've tanked up in the hands
I'm
of
not sure why they
Slinky.
didn't just keep backing up. I mean,
why don't we go ahead
So-
and put this
we
into an
take up
infected
the
war
hands
room
of
then?
Slinky.
Sinister war room.
Strike out.
No, strike it. It's hard
If we
to
don't,
run through
just
here.
go in,
Yeah.
go in, go in. We don't want to get a spitter. Call for help.
The spawns are gonna be.
Reloading.
I'm gonna pull through the fence over here.
I'm gonna bounce over.
Call for help. We need to go now, let's go. Charger?
Mason relay can do. Go down. That's a charge, so.
Do whatever you can. You're just giving us time for spawns in the bottom now. Nice.
Nice frog, dude.
Faggot. Here's a
Nice
faggot.
guy.
Good rock.
Welcome back, everyone. And that was a fairly nice tank for that open area. I thought it looked like he could have done a lot more. They had that corner after just getting the first pull, but the other SI weren't really able to do much. We did see that nice curve rock by Briz onto Fever that near the end, but yeah, overall, I think they did all right with that tank, but the survivors still have quite a bit of health bonus. Any thoughts on that tank, Mason?
yeah, the quad with tank is always a really, really fine balance. I mean, if you send the spawns in early, then the tank has extra health while everybody's shutting down SI to get in and get that in cap. But then, as you saw, the tank had around 3,500 health, had gotten his in cap, and really couldn't do anything because he was really far away from all the other survivors. So,
Yeah, I definitely agree there. I think the open area had something to do with it. We do see a hit coming in. That boom too far away to get anything. Charger getting cleared off very quickly, but we are seeing some jockey damage going in on one of the survivors over here. It's for just a little bit of chip down on that, but overall pretty well taken for that choke point, I think. If any of you guys are having issues watching Jeff's cast, I'm hearing that maybe it's not visible on one or more of the sites. So if you're having trouble viewing it on L4D2TV, remember you can still go to the L4D, the other site for it. But we do have a boom coming in here for another quick hit. Pull getting cleared very quickly. Looks like Hunter and Jockey just wanting to come in right here. Hunter landing that pounce for just a little bit of damage. Jockey going in, also taking down some of Asian's health bonus. But it looks like Scar, who's on temp health, is going to be taking most of that hit. Health bonus is now down to 328. Pretty standard health bonus for this map, I think. Maybe a little low considering the level of play we're seeing here. But yeah, I mean, this isn't too worrisome for Sinister, I feel. Boom coming in for that last attempt. Not going to land, and the other SI don't look like they have spawns right here. It is a 2-2 setup. Last second pull getting juked. And that Charger may be getting a little stumble damage. I don't think so, though. Survivor's just going to bleed out a little bit more and then walk in with a 300 health bonus.
You guys aren't so damn bad. Well, at least I didn't get the flu.
Pretty good Survivor side by Polarity, I think. What did you think?
I don't
Mason.
think Infected landed a charge that whole map.
You know, I think you might be right about that.
And I remember him getting a few punches, but that's one thing we noticed, especially when we played this Polarity team, is they take the Uzis and they focus fire those Chargers. You have to send the Charger in really, really, really late against these guys, otherwise he's just going to get mowed down.
That's true. We saw a lot of Chargers getting mowed down, and I think some of them just had trouble getting spawns and just landing those charges. But we'll have to see. Maybe Sinister can pull out a bigger health bonus on Survivor. We'll see what Polarity's Infected is like. Looks like we've got SI setting up on top of this billboard over here. Very interesting move. We don't see a lot of teams actually able to pull that off. Charger and Jockey both on the backside. Looks like they too want to go for that pull to the front. And it looks like a boom from the side over here is what he's looking for. We do have Rex moving up to clear out some common right here. And the Jockey Charger spawning in the back. Oh, Charger not landing anything there, going for a quick charge. A pull gets a few ticks of damage. I believe that Jockey got some damage as well. And the Boomer going in, actually landing a boom onto Shade in the front here. So, overall, pretty similar to what we saw in the first half. Similar amount of damage, plus the one boom. Shade actually taking a bit of common damage here, 10 damage.
The good part about landing that boom last, Prodigy, is that it slows them down for the bridge hit, and they actually have spawns up for a car pile if they want to hit here.
Wow, yeah, they aren't even to the card pile. Spawns are up, but it looks like we've got a 3-1 without a boomer, so I imagine we'll be seeing them wait for this first bridge choke point. With the spitter, we normally see most teams use just the first bridge for this hit. Team Sinister taking their time checking for some items. I believe they picked up a melee weapon and some Uzi ammo.
Reloading.
Do not shoot me.
We do see once again the Hunter pre-spawn. Usually pretty safe to pre-spawn those Hunters.
Searchlight's over there. Could be a way out. Reloading. Reloading.
And Sinister moving through pretty quickly as well. Blocking spawns horizontally here. Hunter going in. Looking for that pounce. Charger missing on this side as well. Pulled to the front with some spit separation. But that should be cleared pretty quickly. Only about 10 more damage off of that hit. Wow, we really aren't seeing charges land in these, but you know, that's sort of... I think that's sort of been a recurring theme in these high-level games.
Yeah, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing Chargers just smoking, Chargers punching smoked victims just to get that damage, because it's
certainly true. I know I've started adapting my play to just go for punches a lot more with those Chargers. It's certainly more much faster and safer damage if you can actually get to that range. We have a natural horde coming in, but Sinister just taking it on top of this bridge area.
Weapons over here. Reloading.
It looks like the first car is alarmed here on this half, so we'll be seeing a hit around there. Looks like Boomer's probably going to open up with a free boom here, I'd imagine. Although the SI are still sort of spread out on this map. Oh, looks like Survivor's moving to pool. Hit coming in. Charger missing that charge on the front. We do get the boom in. A smoke getting taken down, and Jockey getting some scratches onto Shade, but overall, just another 10 or so damage. Actually, maybe a little bit more. I think we got about 20 damage in total thanks to those scratches.
I'm not sure what the green survivors are doing, but every time I've seen one player get boomed, they've kind of hung him out to dry.
Yeah, that's
it's
certainly...
like they've been taking a lot of unnecessary common chip, which, I mean, you think it doesn't matter, it's 10 or 12 hit points a map, but that's the difference between being down 2 and 3 tank punches, and as close as some of the games we've seen during this tournament, I mean, that could be the difference between winning and losing.
Certainly can. Oh, we do have another hit coming in here, getting a boom and a nice pounce, stumble right there, a little bit of spit damage, totaling actually 10 or 20 more damage right here. Not too bad for an impromptu hit with 2-2. The spitter actually choosing to stay alive, thinking about going for a room hit, which, you know, may actually happen with the rate these survivors are moving. Looks like they're pushing to block these spawns, so we aren't going to be seeing that. Spit going in anyway to get the split. Charger in the back. Ouch! Getting juked. And it looks like 2-cap, and it does land through the walls. not really happening. Shade taking a lot of damage, and now Ellis as well, who I believe is Pachinko, going down into the yellow. 2 pills committed already, and we're going to see the tank here pretty soon. This is looking actually worse than Polarity's status before this tank. And the tank is now up in the hands of Steven or Scar. Let's go ahead and do that Polarity War Room.
Oh, Chip.
HR's on coach.
Yo, Steven, don't rush your punches, bro.
Alright.
Reloading here. Reloading.
You can go. Yo, gas can's on the smoker
It's
right
fast.
there.
It's fast.
Oh,
passing.
that's fine.
Alright,
Alright.
Still got
do
it.
it.
I know where the gas can was.
You want me to stand
I
on
don't
it
know.
as a jockey? Okay, got it.
I'm.
Alright.
The gas are gonna try and light me still. Wow, what a spread.
Whatever. So,
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to go.
Let's go.
yeah, let's help him.
Kippers. Wow!
Alright, I can only get 1 punch.
Welcome back, everyone. That was Polarity's tank right there. Not really getting as much damage as we saw Sinister's tank get, but they did actually land, I believe, the first charge of this match. But overall, I mean, Sinister didn't go into that tank as well, but they definitely came out taking less damage than Polarity. What do you think, Mason?
Yeah, at this point, it really just comes down to hitting coach. They need to start. I mean, this next attack, I feel like you've got to send 3 or 4 spawns at him because he's the health bonus. Pullback on Ellis coming in.
It looks like other SI not really having spawns, but they haven't
What a
cleared that
pull!
pull
What
yet.
an amazing pull!
Is he the sniper right there, Cap? Wow, actually getting rid of the rest of his health bonus. We see not... The other 2 SI are going to savor this hill, it looks like, but that took down the health bonus by maybe about 20 or 30 points. Nothing to shake a stick at. But they are still up by about 110 points right now for this map. But they still need to take out another round of SI to make this map. We do have a 2-2 setup. Boomer going in. Wow, landing a very long boom onto Nick down there. Other SI moving in slowly while this Boomer hops in. Boomer getting taken down. Other SI actually choosing to back off as Sinister has just completely backed off of this choke point. I'm gonna wait out this boom and then try to commit again.
Keep in mind, 2 of their players are bleeding, and they should.
Yeah, you'd think they'd want to push this while they have 3 spawns down, and before they take so much bleed. Dog and Spawn going to be up pretty quickly, but they are taking the choke now. Trying to take that charge. Wow, actually landing that charge at the bottom of the hill. 2 cap on health bonus. Hunter now spawning up, trying to get the intercept. Not quite going to happen. But Nick has lost almost all of his permanent health. Getting the intercept on Coach is clear. Wow, this is getting a huge amount of damage onto Sinister. Their health bonus...
That was a gift. I'm not sure what happened there, but Nick backed straight into a charge that was from miles away. Really, really, really messy right there. I'm not sure why they didn't just all 4 go up while they... I don't know what to say about that. That's really confusing.
Certainly, the survivors have taken a huge amount of damage off of that hit. Eating that charge, that double cap, really did not help them. The health bonus is now sitting at 164. A full 150 points below Polarities at this point. And they have another hit to go in with. Going for this boom. Not wanting to pop it on that car, but they probably should do it pretty soon. I believe they're out of the range of that alarm. Other SI have spawned up kind of far away. Jockey coming in for some damage onto Coat. Landing it. Charger coming in. Landing onto Nick right there. Almost getting an in-cap again. Ellis getting pulled. Wow, another effective end of map hit right here. Really, these SI are not getting killed off.
I don't know what's going on at this point. I don't know if they're yelling at each other and mumble. I don't know why they aren't. But like clumping up like that, you normally don't see teams of this caliber clump up so much that their glows are overlapping when they know they have attacks coming in. Like I feel like they're lucky to charge it and get a multi or some like a punching spree in there.
Certainly. Trying to avoid that boomer, they ended up opening a lot of spawns to the SI team. And now they are down because of it. Oh, of course, also they took a few more hits in that map. 708 for Polarity to 504 for Sinister. Going into map 2 right here. 200-point difference, but, you know, I have to say that's a little bit more than I expected from this first map.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to agree with you. After we found out the tank spawn was a pretty easy one and Polarity kind of flubbed theirs, I was thinking Sinister was going to head in with a 150 point lead, but that cliff hit was pretty impressive. Somehow they pulled it off, and now we see Polarity taking Survivor first on map 2.
Yeah, that sneaky pullback they got onto the sniper sort of was the beginning of a string of attacks that just really did a lot of damage to Sinister. I wonder if it threw him off their game right there. We are seeing the 3-1 spitter setup for this hit, so we are going to see Sinister set up for this safe room attack. Charger, Jockey, Hunter, Spitter. This looks like a pretty damaging setup, depending on whether or not you'd want a smoker for this normally. We'll have to see how they go.
Sorry about that, Prodigy. We do see all the SI setting up on the roof, which is where most attacks come from. You'll see 2 SI, the Jockey and the Hunter, go for the survivors that run out, while the Charger a lot of times likes to try and charge whoever's in the safe room because they don't really have much room to dodge. So,
we
do see the Charger getting chipped. That's interesting.
Yeah, Polarity getting those spawns opened up and doing the chip. The Charger's actually stuck. They kill off the Spitter. Wow, kind of. You gotta really look out for that if you're gonna go for that hit. Pre-spawning those SI, you can get chipped through that roof if they really just want to bait it out. 8 damage going in from that Jockey, but basically a shutdown, and the survivors didn't even have a spit block. They just move up through this map.
And again, I'm wondering what's going on in the Sinister mumble. I mean, normally when a player gets shot through a wall, they move, but the Spitter just sat there and took it. So I don't know if he was AFK or if he was talking to somebody or...
Well, hopefully that's not the case. We do have this hit coming in. Pull getting cleared off very quickly. Jockey getting cleared off as well. Hunter getting dead stopped and taken out. Spitter getting some scratches here. But I believe that's the hit. Survivors moving through a couple more choke points. No tank at this point, no witch. We do have that sniper up into the hands of Steven. This next hit is coming up soon. They do have Charger, Smoker, Jockey, and a Boomer, so I wonder if we'll just see some sacks for the final choke point. Boomer going in and getting popped. Looks like
wouldn't be surprised to see for them save at the ladder at this point, which is it looks like that's where they're running to.
Probably a good move. The only catch on that is if the tank spawns earlier, we'll probably see them quickly reposition their spawns. We do have Pachinko getting his Spitter right here. So definitely a pretty good setup for this choke point. I've started to become more partial to having a Hunter on this choke, but a very powerful, the full mobility setup right here.
They might hit in this alleyway. Look where the Charger is.
I normally think that's just like a precaution in case the tank spawns, but yeah, if you catch the survivors off guard, you can definitely do some damage here.
No, it looks like they were just setting up there in case the survivors tried to run back because of the tank spawn, but you should see them shift over to the ladder pretty soon.
Looks like that is happening. Smoker not setting up for the pull-off, so he's probably just going to try to set up for a Charger here, I'd imagine. None of the survivors are really chipped, so if they're going to send one person up top, they're going to have to make a decision about that soon. It looks like Dawkins is on ladder. Yeah, Dawkins baiting a few common down. There are quite a few close range ones, so if he goes up to get some picks, he's going to have to deal with all of those.
Yeah,
wow, that's actually killing off a common. Yeah.
Because, believe it or not, common infected can block your tongue. Attacks coming in. Smoker's tongue gets broken. Jockey's out on Ellis. Survivor's going to have to make a tough choice right now. Ellis is about to go off the side.
Yeah, there was spit on that ladder. Now death spit on the ladder. Oh, Survivor's actually choosing to go back around and get Ellis. Probably a good choice for damage mitigation here. You know, the SI could have kept Ellis up top, but, you know, an in-cap's an in-cap. Very good to go for that. Plus, the Jockey is getting a despawn. They'll be able to just hit on this choke point again. with all three of those spawns. Of course, the jockey is a little bit chipped, but you know, his choke point's still good. No spitter this time, of course. Really, sack. Wonder if they really meant to do that. Maybe they thought they could get polarity to slow down. And oh, all survivors committing at this point, getting the tri-cap with pull and jockey. And the charge actually on health bonus. Jockey getting some more damage onto Dawkins right there. Pretty good hit for not having the spitter right there. No ledge caps, but a good amount of damage, about 50 damage or more going off onto health bonus. Still no tank at this point.
Yeah, unless it's a really, really late tank, I can't see the survivors having too much difficulty with them. One player bleeding out isn't that much. They're gonna have to keep him on pills, but he's still going to be fast for this tank fight.
Certainly. He's not black and white either, so, you know, if they want to, they can just use him to try to take the SI or tank damage for them. As a little sort of a buffer, sacrificial lamb. We do have a hit coming in. It is a 2-2. Looks like they want to sack it. Smoker getting picked. Hunter actually landing a 2 DP. Boom going in on 2, and some spit in the front.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Getting a little bit of chip onto Asian right here. Oh, actually a triple boom we saw go in. So a very nice delay and a little bit of damage as well. But Survivor's actually not getting any extra pills in this pill box. These might be their last 3 pills for the map. So they just have to make sure none of the rest of them bleed and Dawkins doesn't eat them all up. We do have a 3-1 with Boomer right here. Probably pretty good for the tank, which has just spawned pre-event.
Oh,
Charger
did they hit the button? They hit the button, didn't they? Wow.
I don't believe they did. I don't hear any horde coming in, but we do have a boom going in anyway. Maybe they did hit the button actually, but Pounce going in for a little bit of damage onto Scar right here, and to pull onto Scar, keeping that hunting rifle busy so the tank can get some rage, and maybe a rock. Pull finally getting cleared.
Yep.
Hitting the rock onto Scar. I didn't see if that actually got damage though. But still a good job.
I was mistaken. They have not hit the button yet. Survivors are resetting now. I'd be surprised if we see them eat any more rocks. Let's send it to a Sinister war room at this point.
Alright.
No, it's gonna be a spitter. He's gonna be a spitter. Or not?
So Hunter, if you have time. Nice, dude.
Go, go, go. 4 and 3. Go, go.
Got him. Get the other one. Get the last.
I'm dead.
Just jump around.
Yeah, tank's got it. Just keep distracting.
Yeah, just get him too.
I got it.
Nice. What a tank.
Good job.
Nice job, dude.
I'm
See my
too.
jump rock? See my
The
jump rock?
shade laser. Fucking so gay.
Where's Fever?
We're in war
Faggot.
room, you know that?
Faggot.
I think Sun's back.
And we're back. We see Sinister committing with the quad cap and getting it. The key to that being immediately dropping, landing the jump rock on Fever and in-capping him pretty much with full health. So now, when you have a 5,000 health tank, 3 SI, and only 3 survivors to cap, it's pretty easy to send 2 after 1, let the tank corner the other, and get that wipe. And that's exactly what we did. We saw the charge landing, the pounce landed on Ellis, and the tank was able to wrap up her shell to finish up the cap. So we'll see how Sinister handles that tank on Survivor side.
Yeah,
feedback, Prodigy?
Yeah, that was just a really well-executed tank wipe, I think. You know, Fever not being pre-pilled, he must have been low enough to go down in just the rock and the punch. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the survivors at that point. And the hit is coming in here on Safer. 1 survivor out, getting pounced, while landing the charge inside with spit. Still, that pounce has not been cleared. Wow, we actually got about 70 damage off of that hit, almost 80 damage. Actually, exactly 80 damage going in on that hit. Wow, what do you think about that?
And again, it seems like Sinister just wanting to give away the advantage that polarity gives them just right away.
Yeah, sending one
like...
player out front right there, I feel like that's a really dangerous strategy, because if he gets capped on the outside, the people on the inside have to worry about all these SI just blocking off vision for them.
Yeah, and I'm not sure who it was who got charged, but he had cornered himself, and when you corner yourself, that's kind of like a free charge for the charger because of, well, you can't stray if you're in a corner. So that was messy as well.
Certainly true. We do have another 3-1 here with a smoker and a boomer. Looks like a pretty good setup to hit around these tents. So it looks like hit is coming in. Pull landing, charger getting his charge taken away. Oh, getting those punches on the jockey though, like we talked about. A lot of damage going into the coach right there. Looks like another 60 or 70 damage so far. Wow, Sinister taking a lot from these hits. And you know, like we said, I think that tank's going to be pretty easy for Sinister to deal with, as long as they just don't let the tank get any of those free end caps. But you know, Polarity could actually make up for it by hitting with SI as hard as they have. It looks like Sinister's having a lot of trouble dealing with their attacks.
Yeah, and this is the last attack we're gonna see before the Sud just dropped. This is the last attack we're gonna see before the ladder hit, which is it's pretty much the hit for this map. Smoker on the roof pulling, Hunter on the roof looking for a DP as well.
Kind of a binary attack here, but I believe it's mostly a sack trying to get Jockey and Smoker down before that Hunter. A very good use of spawn prediction there by Polarity, and actually saving the spitter. So I think they're hoping that they're going to end up with that charge Jock Smoke along with the spitter. I have a feeling they might end up with a boomer as well, but we'll have to see how it works out for them. They do have the charge, and I believe we have just lost our HD stream, so hello everybody moving in from that stream. I don't know where he's gone, and I don't know when he'll be back, but hopefully we'll get him back soon for you guys. And we do see, wow, 2-2 setup with Hunter. I don't think this is what Polarity wanted at all. You can still do some good damage with this setup, but I think they'd rather have another capper than that boomer for this hit. We do have a natural horde coming in. Maybe Polarity's going to choose to attack on this. It looks like they're dropping the boom in.
Charger from below.
Oh, wow, getting juked after
that's...
he gets that punch. Spit also getting cleared off without being able to get any of that hit in. It looks like we're just basically seeing that one punch onto Shade, and of course some common chip onto Coach on the front. But, you know, he's sort of being a buffer for them. He does still have some permanent health. But pretty well taken down. Definitely not the setup that Polarity wanted. And they tried to make it work, but, you know, Sinister shut down that charge and that spit. And that was pretty much it. We have the next hit right here. It looks like Polarity might try for some sort of a death charge here.
Uh-oh.
Jockey getting stopped, pull in the back, Charger running around, not going to get anything right there. Very good shutdown by Sinister. That was looked like just sort of a quick attempt at that multi-hit right there, but did not go through. It looks like Sinister's going to be able to grab their ammo and move forward and start the tank. Dawkins announcing his mumble token to everybody in the whole world. Hopefully you guys can't read that on Jeff's stream. But we do have a hit coming in before they take this drop. Getting two cappers onto Shade in the top end. A little bit of a pull onto Slinky for some quick damage right there. Mostly just a sack getting rid of that spitter before this tank, which should spawn up any second. Here it is. And the tank is up in the hands of Scar. Let's go ahead and go to this Polarity War Room.
Bummer.
Rock.
Go for a rock.
Alright. Let's go, Jockey.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Sorry.
Close rock, I think. Alright, get ready to back up. They're gonna send that
HR's on
here.
that one.
Way
I'm going
short.
back.
Steven.
Okay.
Reloading.
I'll let it pull.
Do you want to sack spitter or do you want to get hit? Let's say
Let's get a hit.
It's gonna pass.
It's gonna...
Pass. Just sack it.
Okay.
And boomer.
I should have killed Spitter second. What are the chances that we're gonna get
H.
another Spitter?
Because of what happened? What happened?
Spitter died, then Boomer died. Boomer
How many
died.
times have you been Spitter? Boomer.
I don't
Like-
know.
I've been
Have you
Boomer,
been Spitter
like,
this
once.
game?
Oh, wow.
Yo,
Yeah.
you have unlimited range.
I know, I know.
Like, no chip.
I just got caught.
Go.
Okay, go.
Push
Go.
in
Come
if
on.
you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Call it when you want support. Don't rush your punches. Be careful.
Brez is in the back.
You can go now.
Alright, let's help him out.
Oh my god. Bro. I skated the.
Welcome back, everyone, and what a tank handling by Sinister right there. I almost thought that Nick was going to get cornered right there, but that slowdown on that tank managed to juke it. We also saw the Hunter get skeeted by that tank rock near the end. I don't think Sinister really took any damage from that tank. I might have missed something. But they've got a 400 health bonus right now, and they're just finishing up this event. Any other comments, Mason?
I don't. Maybe it's was just what it looked like from my spec point of view, but I could have sworn the tank had a punch where he could have cut Nick off, and that would have helped his team out. But then again, maybe he didn't think he could get that long arm. Maybe he didn't get the call for it. But this attack needs to hit Nick. If we don't hurt Nick, then they're gonna have some big room to catch up on next round.
Certainly. It looks like Survivor's clearing out the horde, but the hit's going to come anyway. Hunter getting passed off, full landing, charge landing on Nick, who is now in spit, getting a considerable amount of damage. He's now down in the yellow, and Ellis took all of that pull damage as well. Health bonus dropped from about 400 to about 250 right here. Survivor's still going to make it in after this hit, but I don't know. The question is, would they have taken less damage if they had just rushed instead of waiting? Let's see, will this put Sinister into the lead? It does put them into the lead by about 200 points, 1252 to 1099. So it looks like this game's going to be going back and forth going into map 3.
Yes, it does. And just in case some of you guys are wondering, the reason we see a lot of tanks doing jump rocks now is because when you just right click and throw a normal rock, the animation takes so long. Like it takes so long to throw, but if you keep your momentum and you jump off the roof, then basically you're landing and instantly throwing. So the survivor has less time to react to it. So that's why you see lots of tanks come off of, kind of like a rocket boom. You see them come off of roofs, jump down, and they're already throwing the rock right as they're landing. It's kind of easier to land.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get to move more is basically it when you throw that jump rock. So, I mean, you could either stop completely and throw the rock, or you could keep moving towards that survivor and throw the rock. So it works pretty well on the ground too, but definitely super powerful when you're jumping off a roof. Get that extra distance and throw an instant rock. I believe we are getting the HD stream back online. It seemed to have some sort of system issue. Maybe overheating from all of the awesomeness of this cat. That was a really corny joke, and I apologize. But we do have Sinister starting this round on Survivor. Moving out of the safe room here, I believe we have a 3-1 spitter set up right here, so we could even see Polarity save that. Looks like hit coming in from the back, getting a separation pull, double charge right here, but the spit was taken down, so we won't see the spit damage. Still 60 damage off of that charger, and another 28 off of the smoker. That's almost 100 damage right there, 90 damage on an opening hit like that. I think that was very good. If that spit hadn't gotten cleared off, it would have been absolutely devastating.
We do have a tank spawning up in the hands of Dawkins.
We should probably just do another infected.
Yeah, let's do it, Jeff.
Can I get some scratches on this guy?
Dude, stop taking so much shit. Fuck.
Passing.
4-point tank, 4-point tank, 4-point.
Back in this one.
Don't rush your punches, please.
Gotta spin.
Yes!
I'm gonna attack right now.
Why'd you say Oh. Well, that fucked their spawn rotation up. Get rid of that boomer.
Is there anyone in front?
No.
Okay, no.
Nope. Nick's the closest to you. He has a shotgun. He's just one watching the tunnels.
This is one where I think we should be able to get it down before we send our support in. Like, it's not hard to corner someone here.
Well, let's see how it does.
I don't know, Uzi, slow down.
1, 2,
You could try and tunnel Nick in shotgun.
3,
Yeah,
Uzi,
you
1
can start
shotgun. Yeah,
going.
go in, don't AI.
Wow, cool.
Whatever.
Get a charge spit.
Don't worry about it.
Whoa. I'm gonna get
He's
clear.
down. Oh, he's not. Whoops. He's down.
Oh.
You don't have to. Rock.
Yeah, bad rock animation.
You gotta go in.
Let's see some damage too, bleeding. Oh, nice try.
Nah, that tank's a black tank.
guess that was the second pass. I don't know. And we're back. We see Polarity choosing to commit with a spitter, Charger landing in spit, which was some good damage, Tank managing to incap 1, and get some other damage, but I think Polarity was hoping for a wipe there, and was pretty bummed to see a spitter show up on their spawn rotation.
Yeah, I think actually Asian committed when he had only about 15% rage, and I believe that was already with a pass. So it must have been just the spawns they wanted to commit with, or had to commit with. You guys probably know better. You were in the war room. But still, nothing to shake a stick at. 2 in caps off of that. Pretty good damage, and if they just keep hitting as well as they have been, they can definitely do some damage here. Looks like hit coming in. Charger missing, but we do have a great separation pull in the front. Spit not really getting anything there. Most of that damage onto temp health, but not really a big deal coming out of that hit. Looks like we have a pause coming in from Slinky. This Briz. Some of the people talking about some weird lag in the game that they were feeling. I don't know what that's about. But if you are DOSing this game, please don't. Thank you. And thanks for watching. Game is getting on pause, so it looks like it's cleared up. Sinister continuing to move through this map.
Reloading.
It looks like we are going to see spawns up for the room right here, and they do have a spitter. Sinister not really moving fast enough to block that off. Looks like a fairly good setup. It is a 2-2 with Jockey Charger, but you know, if they can land this charge, that's pretty much a guaranteed in cap off of this with a boom, spit, separation, jockeys. I don't know, there's a lot of possibilities for this. We'll just have to see what they're able to do. Putting the temp health in front, very good move. Charger going in, getting a punch, and landing the cap. Jockey landing as well. Spit going down, getting hit on the jockey, but that's a separation spit onto Ellis right there. He has a lot of health, but he's probably going to go down soon. They are putting him into the hole. We saw that 2 boom go in on the back, so the survivor is actually having a lot of trouble moving up right here. Wow, Pachinko going down very far in the front. Probably not going to be the kill at this point, but we are seeing some spawns come up for Polarity again. They might be able to hit on this. Charger looking for that spawn. Front spawn's getting blocked. Spit going in finally. We see a tri-cap come in, landing 1 cap. Hunter getting dead stop, but landing anyway. Looks like the jockey was cleared in the front, but Coach took a lot of damage. His health bonus almost gone. Survivors don't even really have a lot of pills. Of course, they will probably get a whole bunch of them at the upcoming pill cabinet. Actually, it looks like there's only 1 in the pill cabinet, so Survivor's going to be starving a little bit. Very nice 2 hits by Polarity. I think that spit split is just super powerful at that choke point. Very nice.
Yeah, and again, it seems like the pattern we're seeing in this game. We have attack coming in, Jockey, Boomer, Spitter from the front, Smoker from the back. Looks like they're just sacking this for the beginning of the coaster. But the pattern we're seeing is Polarity seems to be consistently getting good damage and good chip with their infected. But as far as their tank play and decision making, we've seen some pretty huge lapses that have caused them. Sinister their infected has seemed a little But that tank wipe last map was a pretty big deal. They just really need to tighten up their survivor game if they're going to expect to keep it in there. Polarity's going to keep punishing them for their separation, attacking them in charger, punching down Nick, landing a charge on Coach.
Oh wow, almost really close to getting that quad cap right there, but Rochelle killed off that jockey, and Ellis managed to kill off that hunter as he failed that cap right there. Only Shade carrying health bonus at this point. We saw a couple of in caps. I'm wondering if any of these people are black and white. I believe Briz is. They did manage to get some extra health.
I think actually Wook's brother is. Wook's brother is definitely black and white at this point. He was in-capped by the tank and then also was in-capped by the jockey.
No, he was one of the ones not in-capped by the tank. Remember, we saw him take that charger hit after the drop where he almost got in-capped. He still had some permanent health. I'm pretty... Actually, I can just look at the spec HUD right now. Wow, he actually is black and white, and I'm completely retarded. I was mixing up Wook's brother and R2, so I've just confused everyone right here. These Smurf names are just killer on Cass, I swear. Survivors are pushing up this choke point, putting health bonus in front. I guess it's just because they think he's the one who's going to best be able to take out these spawns. But the pull manages to almost take him off. A very nice clear right there. Charger going in and missing, and it looks like Shade has taken out the jockey on top. And they're going to be ready to push through this event. Well, let's see. What do you think? Do you think the survivors can make it through this event completely?
This is not good. Polarity needed to do damage with that attack. I'm not sure what was going on. Wouldn't be surprised to see Fever just spawn up and pull back right here.
If he can make that spawn, it looks like it's going to be blocked pretty quick. He does get the spawn. Wow, getting a pull-off onto Slinky right there. Very last second. We do still see the survivors standing pretty tall right here. Hunter getting skeeted. Jockey landing in the front on health bonus while survivors being forced to take a bunch of spit damage. And a pull going in again.
Yep.
Getting R2 off of that ledge. He is black and white, but he's still got... I think he still has some pretty good health when he gets up. We have the survivors moving forward, but at this point, 3 of them are slow. Actually, I believe 4 of them are now slow. I don't think we're going to see him make this. Just getting distance at this point. Boom coming in, getting 2. And that's going to be pretty much it. Fever Spawn's going to come up here quick. We're going to probably see an attempt to get a charge down. No, it looks like Polarity actually wanting to set up for some later spawns.
I'd expect Fever to just go for punches at this point. He's got Nick down in 1 punch, Coach and Rochelle both down in 2, it looks like.
Yeah, Coach will die once they go down. But it looks like they're just wanting to play it really safe. I don't think they need to take this much precaution, but they're wanting to wait for these pull-down hits on this next choke point. I know that's something you really want to go to if you think a team's actually going to make this map, but you know, these survivors are so low on health, I feel like they could wipe them at any time if they really wanted to. Just some cautious play right here. They do have the jockey for some pullbacks, the charger for some pullbacks, and Hunter setting up for a DP on this. Looks like it's coming in, getting that charge down. Jockey landing, getting his kill onto Slinky. Coach getting in-capped as well. Just Ellis left standing right here. And, you know, he's black and white. I don't think he's going to get anything. Wow, actually taking out the jockey. But at this point, he's
level the charger? Oh, and he gets scratched out by the spitter.
Could not even level that spitter. Still a considerable amount of distance for that map. But, you know, Polarity, without the event tank, Polarity can make this if they... I feel like if they can just make it through this tank, they've been showing us that they've been pretty well on their survivor side, or at least in taking out Sinister's attacks. So I think a lot of it's going to depend on this very early tank by Sinister.
You do know you shoot me, right?
We do have the match live. Are these different spawns? No, they are not. I just have Sud on my HUD in a tub. And Polarity is going to move out right here. This is the same 3-1 setup. Charger, Smoker, Jockey, Spitter.
Reloading.
Looks like the Infected not springing their hit yet. Going to go for a later hit than we saw Polarity do. but they could trigger it at any time. Survivors are now moving up to this front area. Smoker actually setting up pretty far in the front. It looks like they want to wait and go on the first curve. They might even be able to do a tank spawn attack if they want to wait that long. I'm not completely sure where this tank did spawn at. Polarity taking their time clearing out all these commons. We are going to see a natural horde in another 45 seconds. But it looks like the survivors will probably trigger the hit before that. Slowly moving up through this first